Hello, this is Gayatri from highprotein-vegetarian.com. Today I'm going to talk about mushrooms. Growing up, my mom used to make a lot of mushroom dishes, and she would tell us that these are vegetarian meat. And we used to laugh at it, but we had a friend who was actually a meat eater, and then they would eat the dishes my mom would cook with mushrooms, and they thought that mushrooms really do taste like meat. So there you go. Not only are they known as vegetarian meat, they actually taste like one. This tray that I got at the greengrocers has got 5 different varieties of mushroom. There's the king oyster mushroom. It's also known as king brown mushroom. Quite big and chunky. It's good for casseroles or stir fries, salads, or curries, or gravies, mushroom gravy. They're good for that. And then there's the enoki mushrooms. Very pretty looking mushrooms. The long stringy mushrooms. I use them mainly for salads or for garnishing soups and different dishes. And then there's the shimeiki mushrooms. These are grown, they're originally from Southeast Asia. They're long stringy ones as well, very nice in stir fries. And then there's the shiitake mushrooms, tiger skin looking like mushroom. Shiitake, Japanese mushrooms, very tasty as well. And then there's the ordinary button mushrooms. There's one more, button mushrooms. These are very versatile as well. You can use them pretty much any dish, any mushroom dish really. They're very nice to taste as well. Today we're going to make a creamy mushroom soup. And for that I've got a pound of mushrooms. I'll remove this tray. I've got a pound of mushrooms, or just under half a kilo if you're using the metric system. They're mainly shiitake mushrooms, but I've got 1 king brown mushroom, and also I've got a couple of button mushrooms in that as well. And along with the mushrooms, I'm going to use an onion. I'm going to use an onion and 2 cloves of garlic, which I've already peeled, and I've peeled and cut the onion as well. I'm also going to use chives for the soup itself as well as for garnishing. And then I've got some plain flour. This is what is going to give the thickness. That's what I'm going to use for thickening the soup. And then I'm going to use some light cream. You can use full cream if you like, but for this recipe I'm only going to use light cream. I'm also going to use some butter, just a little bit. That's just to give the onions and garlic, just to saute the onion and garlic a little bit. So there's butter, and we're going to serve the soup, creamy soup, with some garlic bread, homemade garlic bread. I bought some crusty Italian bread at the greengrocers. It's sourdough Italian crusty bread. We're going to cut that into big chunks, and we'll put some homemade garlic butter on that. I'll show you how to make that as well in a minute. So let's get started with creamy mushroom soup. Blender. So I'll put them all in the food processor, the garlic, onion, and the mushrooms. It's going to be a bit noisy, so bear with it. And garlic, this is what they look like, quite crushed, but not fine powdery crushed. They're still quite chunky in texture. So let's go to the stove and start cooking the delicious creamy mushroom soup. It's got loads of flavor at this moment. You can smell the onion and garlic. Medium stove. It's on high heat at the moment. I'm just going to put like a little blob of butter. And half a teaspoon of black pepper. You don't have to add black pepper if you don't like. And you don't leave it on the stove for too long with the black pepper, because it will burn and spoil the flavor of the soup. So it should be really quick, that process. And just put the mushrooms, the mushroom, onion and garlic that we just crushed, put that all in. You cook the mushroom in butter and black pepper for about 3 to 4 minutes until the whole mixture starts to change color. The flavor is just so delicious. You can smell the garlic roasting and the pepper, toasted pepper. Pepper does a really great trick with this creamy mushroom soup. Now I add the plain flour to it. Now cook that for another couple of minutes. When the flour is cooked nicely, it's got a nice flavor. The soup has got a nice flavor to it. Whereas if you just put the flour without roasting, it has that raw, floury kind of taste to it. So I always like to roast the flour a little bit. I've been cooking the mushroom, onion, garlic and flour for about 2 minutes now. You can see that some of it is stuck to the base of the pan. That's quite okay. It's not to worry. I'm going to add 4 cups of water. This is just 250 ml cup. You may need to use a whisk just to dissolve the clumps, because we've got a bit of flour in that, so that binds everything together. Just to break it up a little, you use the whisk, and also this scrapes the caramelized ingredients from the base of the pan as well. You add a teaspoon of salt to the soup. Once it boils for a bit, here we go, you can see it's starting to boil now. What I'm going to do now is to turn the stove down, and I'm going to put the lid on. Now we're going to put 1/4 cup of light cream into that. Here's the light cream. Just give it a swirl. I'm going to add some chives to give it loads of flavor in the soup itself, and we'll use some more chopped up chives for garnishing later. Okay, we're going to make some garlic butter for our crusty Italian bread. As you can see, I've already sliced the bread into thick chunky slices. Here's the bread here, and I've already crushed some garlic. There's 1 clove of garlic in that, and I've got some parsley, flat leaf parsley chopped up, and I'm going to use about 50 grams of butter with that, so say about 2 tablespoons of butter. So I cut a thin blob of butter, put that into garlic, and put like a pinch of flat leaf parsley, chopped up parsley, and mix it up until the garlic has spread through the butter and the herbs have mixed in properly. I can smell the garlic in this. It's so flavorsome, fresh and delicious. And then you just apply the garlic and herb butter onto the bread. And I've got the grill happening right now. I've got the grill going right now, so I'm going to put these bread slices coated with garlic butter just for a minute or two, depending on how you like them. If you like them crusty, you may want to leave them a little longer, but that just takes the flavor of garlic right through the bread, and the butter melts into the bread as well. Here's the delicious cream of mushroom soup, dressed with herbs and a drizzle of cream and crusty Italian bread.